Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jenna with Stahls TV. Welcome to the 2017 Fall and Spirit Wear trends. We're going to be going over a variety of different looks from finishes, different glitter effects, foil effects, matte finishes, some of the looks that you're seeing behind me. And then, of course, we're going to be going over different apparel trends. If you are joining me on GoToWebinar, there is a handout in there for you guys to have access to. It's the PowerPoint that I'm going to be sharing in today's episode. So if you guys are interested in having that to reference to, if you want to recreate some of these looks or figure out where we source some of those garments, it's in the handout. If you're joining me on Facebook Live, and you're interested in having that presentation in your hands, then you guys can go ahead and direct message us your email information and we'll get that sent over to you. But as I mentioned, we're going to be going over all of the trends that we see are going to be a big fit for apparel decorators this fall, especially if you're doing sportswear and already decorating for teams. So one thing that apparel decorators should know if you're decorating for teams, every sports player that is on that field or court has three to four people in the stands there to support them. So of course, not only are you decorating for the person on the field or court, but you're also decorating for those people there that are supporting them. And that's where the spirit wear and fall fan wear really comes in, because they want to represent who they're there watching for. So just keep that in mind whenever whether you're decorating for this market already or if you're looking to getting into it, this is a big market and you can reach a lot of people and have a lot of profit in the fall if you're doing this. All right, so before we head to the press and start doing some looks, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my PowerPoint and we'll start there so that you guys are able to see the first look that we're going to be going over. All right, so this is a very popular look. It's very sought after in retail, and this garment actually comes from Sanmar. It's a district-made cosmic tee. It comes in a variety of different colors. This one is very peculiar because it's considered a trend that's called Solange Wear, and it's something that Sanmar reached out to us to let us know that is very popular for this fall because it can be worn for both sportswear and loungewear. So not only is it reaching a market, but it's reaching two different markets. So they can wear this to work out in or even wear to practice, but of course they can also wear to just lounge around in or wear to a game. So it's a lot like athleisure you guys are pretty familiar with. That's athletic wear and leisure wear. And then it's a heather garment that is popular for multiple markets. So as I mentioned, it's not only reaching that sports market, but also that other market where it's just a very casual fit and you can wear really anywhere. Heather textures, they really add dimension to your look. It makes your designs pop. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my camera angle here so you can see how we decorated this. We have glitter flake on here. I didn't want to spend too much time doing the decoration method because you guys are pretty familiar with how glitter flake works. It applies as low as 300 degrees, which makes it easy to be able to decorate such a lightweight fabric. And if you're able to get this in your shop and get this in your hands, you can feel how really soft this garment is. And that is what our customers like, right? They like something that's soft and lightweight to wear. So that's why this piece is going to be a really big trend for this fall. And being able to decorate it for either a team player or somebody that's there to support them is going to be huge. So it's going to fit those two different elements. And of course, you want to take advantage of all of your personalization areas so that the more you print, the more profit you can make. So we have our big bold text here, and then we added some personalization there that people are going to be willing to pay extra for. So being able to take advantage of that, whether it's the left low hemline print or the seam, or not the seam, but the sleeve of the garment. Those are two areas that are perfect for adding personalization to. All right, and that's our first look. Again, it's going to be very popular for the fall fan wear market. And then, of course, we have our skinny fleece pant. So a lot of you guys are familiar with the jogger. So this is a little bit like that. It doesn't have the tight ankle that the joggers have, so it's a little bit unique in that way. But really, what the trend here is the unique placement. So you can't really tell from the image that I have there, but I'll show you how it's printed here shortly. But what I really want to point out is that it has a nice big bold print. So we're doing a wraparound print here that is on the side of the pant leg. So this would be the school's logo, and it's shown really big on the left pant leg on the side. So it's a nice wraparound print. And prints like these are being seen in retail stores. So what are your customers always looking to achieve whenever they're purchasing their fan wear gear from you? It's something that they're seeing in retail, in Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, what have you. That is the looks that they're going to look for. So being able to achieve that is going to give your customers a variety of different looks that they're seeing in retail, but they know that you can offer it for them. So that is going to make you their go-to decorator. So they don't need to go to those retail stores because they know they can get their logo that they want, how they want it, that is retail inspired. Now, the material that was used on this was fashion film. It's a Stahls product. It's very thin and lightweight, which makes it very easy to use for this thin, lightweight garment. So we went with fashion film. Of course, you can go with any other heat transfer vinyl, such as a textured flock even, to kind of go with that fleece that's in the pants. All right, our next look is a fan wear jersey styled from Boxer Craft. So this is considered a vintage jersey, and it's very popular, and we'll get into all of the fan wear jerseys that are trending for this fall here shortly. But what I really want you to take away from this trend is typography. Bold fonts using no holes or cavities in text creates a fun, stylish look, which is actually seen a lot in retail as well. We use a glitter flake for this look in gold. You can see it here behind, or here. If you want to switch back to the cam, there we go. You can see that here. And what we did was took advantage, and not only did we do the typography, but we took advantage again with that school logo or paw print that represents that their mascot, the Panthers. And then of course we wanted to decorate the back. So this style is created with the oversized jerseys in mind. So this garment was sourced from Boxer Craft, as I mentioned. So what they did similarly with the oversized jerseys was just brought up that seam a little higher, so we were still able to get a nice big bold print on the back without having something that's too oversized. So it's something that's still very trendy, that oversized jersey, but having a new take on it is really lucrative to show to your customers. So if you've already been offering the oversized jersey, then it would be important to show them something a little new that's similar, but staying innovative with it. So being able to offer a jersey like that with that high seam, which gives it that vintage jersey look, and then pairing a nice bold print with no holes or cavities, which still meets another trend. So you're looking at two trends in one, and how can your customers say no to that, right? All right, and the next one we're actually going to be heading to the press for, so we can head over there. This garment was sourced from Pant Sportswear and is one of my favorites because it's keeping a lot of trends in mind. It's actually reaching about 3 different trends that we're going to be going over today. So 3 trends in one garment is a pretty awesome deal whenever you are decorating for fall fan wear. So not only is it reaching that textured heather fabric that we went over, but it's also meeting that color block, which is a very popular trend, especially for apparel decoration. And then it has that vintage jersey style. So a couple things we already went over, the vintage jersey and the textured heather, but also raglan as well and color block. So raglan is whenever the seams of the sleeve meet the collar, and then the color blocking is obviously one solid color against another solid color. So this makes it very easy for when it comes to a decoration method. Of course, we want to be able to personalize this for the school colors, but mix it up a little bit too so that it matches these pink sleeves. So what we're going to do is go ahead and load this onto our 16 by 20 platen here. I'm using the Hotronix Fusion today to do my applications. And I have fashion film, or no, this is our Premium Plus heat transfer vinyl pointed out here. Now, whenever you're doing vertical text, it's important to know that this is popular to do vertical text either on the sleeve of garments, the left side, such as the hemline, or even starting up in the left chest logo and going straight down. So what I want to do is, even though I'm putting this on more towards the left side of the shirt, I still want to line this up where I typically do my left chest logo. So when I measure my left chest logo, I'm going to line up center with where my the end of my collar is. So all the way at the edge of the left side of my collar is where I want to be center with my design. All right. Another thing that's very popular for fall fan wear, of course, is our October gear. So anything that's breast cancer awareness and being able to reach that market as well. So I want to make sure I'm still a couple inches down from my collar when I'm starting my design here. And I have Premium Plus and Adhesive together. What's good about pairing these designs together is that they both apply at a nice low temperature, which is going to be perfect for this thin, lightweight garment. And that's another thing you want to keep in mind when choosing garment styles, is how thin and lightweight they are, because that's what's going to feel best to your customers. And being able to pair that with a nice light and thin heat transfer vinyl is going to do wonders too, because if they're wearing a lightweight garment, of course they don't want to feel anything too heavy on there, making it uncomfortable for them to wear. All right, so I'm going to cover with my cover sheet. Premium Plus applies as low as 280, but my adhesive applies at 300. So anytime I'm doing two heat transfer vinyls together, I want to go with the highest temperature. So although Premium Plus applies as low as 280, I can still increase it to 300 without it being damaged underneath that high heat. All right, so my Premium Plus is a cool peel, so I'm going to wait for that to cool down, but I know my adhesive's a hot peel, so I can go ahead and peel that away. All right, so I think I've let that cool just enough where I can go ahead and peel away my carrier. And it has a nice matte finish, but we're going to go ahead and cover that adhesive with our new coral color. So I wanted to go with a finish for this part that would match the sleeves the best. So I could have went with the two other pink options that we have for foil, but I figured that this coral color would match these sleeves the best, so that's the one we're going to go with today. So I'm going to cover this with a cover sheet again. Make sure I don't move my sheets underneath there. All right, and our foil applies at 10 seconds for 300 degrees at a firm pressure. So I'm going to increase my pressure there to make sure that I'm letting that foil really get pushed into that adhesive so that it adheres well whenever we go to peel those sheets away. If you guys haven't seen our new foil colors, this is one of them. This is our coral color. We're going to be showing a few others as well, so you guys have a chance to see what that looks like. And our foil is a cold peel, so what I'm going to do is actually just place this on a cool surface to speed up that cool down process. And then I can go ahead and peel those away. Okay, so we have our completed garment. I'm going to go ahead and put this up to the camera so you can really get, it's okay. So you can really get a good idea of the finish of that foil there. So you can see its true color, and then of course seeing it paired with the pink sleeves as well. All right, so it really takes its foil effect when it's hit with that light, and then of course being able to pair this of course with a color block t-shirt or raglan t-shirt. Raglan t-shirts typically have another color sleeve, so it makes it easy for being able to mix and match your designs while still keeping with the true colors of the school. All right, so we can go ahead and bring up that slide so you guys can get an idea of the garment style. It's a space dye jersey, which is giving it that nice textured heather look. It's more of an electric as opposed to a heather. Although it still has that heather design in there, it's much more vibrant than any other heather t-shirts. And as I mentioned earlier, those vertical graphics are popular with both men and women's apparel, but of course the placement is key. So if you're going to do a vertical graphic or design, you want to either put that on the sleeves of the t-shirt, the left chest logo, or even that left seam placement. And what I mean by left seam is if this graphic was a little bit smaller, all I would have to do is drop it right here. So it would be able to read there. So even if I wanted to do a full front graphic and drop a vertical text, that would be a very popular placement there as well. Okay? All right, and for our next fall fan wear look, we're going to be doing a volleyball inspired tank top. So we'll go ahead and head to the press for that look. I'm just going to take out my 16 by 20 since I'm working with a slim fit tank top here for ladies style. So it's going to have a slimmer fit, and I don't want it to stretch out on that 16 by 20 too much because there's a chance that that could just mess up my graphic if I'm working with material that stretches. All right, so we're going to be showcasing another new foil color. It's called Silver Skells. It's one of my new favorites. I'm sure it'll be your favorite too after you see it. All right, so this garment is from Pant. And what I like about this is they chose to do a different color along the seam here. So although this is a nice solid color to work with, of course, having an additional color in there is lucrative as well, because you're going to be able to, again, pair a design that matches that well. So having that gray seam on there is why I chose the foil color that I did. All right, and this is a really unique look. It's a broken text or split text effect, which is very popular in retail as well. As you can tell, I'm doing a lot of retail inspired looks because that is what customers are looking for when they go to buy their fan gear for the fall. All right. And of course, whenever I line these up, if it is a low cut neck, I want to go just 2 inches from the collar. This is more of a high cut neck, so I'm going to still go 4 fingers down from there. All right, I'm applying white fashion film here. I'm just going to tack that for a couple seconds because I'm inlaying adhesive. And I don't want my image to shrink. So if you're working a lot with heat transfer vinyl, you know that it tends to shrink under high heat if it's there for a long dwell time. All right, so my mistake here, my pressure wasn't high enough, so you can see that this is starting to pick up. But this is no worries here. All we have to do is just stick that right back on there. Fashion film has a nice tacky backing, so that's going to hold right back in place. And I can just place that back down and reapply for a couple seconds. The only thing I'm risking here is this heat transfer vinyl shrinking because I'm hitting it for an additional couple seconds. Usually to avoid this, what I'll recommend our customers to do is create a large contour gap if you're inlaying or even direct layering, another heat transfer vinyl. So I do have a contour around here, so it shouldn't mess with my image too much. But increasing that pressure, you can tell how much that helped with the adhesion there. All right, and I'm going to take my adhesive and just lay that in there. So it didn't shrink my image too much, so I shouldn't have too much difficulty laying this in. Okay, so I want to take my cover sheet again. And adhesive is a light pressure application. So I typically recommend just turning our pressure notch back 2 times, and that'll give us a nice light pressure. So your pressure should read out anywhere between 1 and 3 if you're looking for a light pressure. And it also applies for just 5 seconds. So with that dwell time being nice and low, and our temperature being nice and low, we won't have any issue with shrinking. Now, because my fashion film had a little bit of a longer dwell time than I would have liked, you will see this not lining up exactly how I would want it to, but it'll still look nice. So just keep that in mind whenever you are doing looks like this. If you're layering heat transfer vinyl, just take that all into consideration. All right, so our foil applies for 10 seconds at 300 degrees, but it's going to be at a firm pressure. So what I'm going to do is just increase my pressure there. Anywhere between a 7 and a 9 is going to give me a firm pressure. All right, so while we're waiting for this foil to cool down, we'll go ahead and look at Facebook. We're getting some questions in there for the volleyball tank using CADWorks Live. So I knew I was going to get questions on this because this is a really unique look, and everybody here in the office really loves it. And I'm hoping to do a look just like that, either on the morning show or a live class. So definitely coming. If you want an SVG file of it, of course, direct message the Stahls Facebook, and then we can go ahead and send that to you as a PDF. If you're working with CADWorks Live, it's going to work best as a PDF because it'll import in there for you to just send straight to the cutter. All right, are garments available through Stahls? Okay, so the garments are actually available through the supplier that we're listing on the PowerPoint. So this was from Pant Sportswear. Why it's not available through Stahls is because you need an account from each of these suppliers to be able to have access to their garments and their wholesale pricing. So having an account with them is going to get you access to all of their clothing. I'm not sure what blend of shirt, because I don't know what shirt we're talking about. But if you type in which one you want to know or point out on the PowerPoint which one you want to know, I can let you know about the blend. Typically, all we're working with is cotton poly blend. So no tri-blends just yet, but that's it's a cotton poly blend so far. Okay, so this was fashion film on the white, and what other material on the foil? Okay, so we have adhesive and foil. So that's the silver scales foil, the white fashion film, and the adhesive. Adhesive is the vinyl that the foil will adhere to, okay? All right, and I think our foil has cooled down just enough where we can go ahead and peel this back. If you guys have any other questions, we'll definitely be getting back to you there. All right. So I'm going to hold this up nice and close to the camera so that you guys can see that finish and how unique that looks on there. So this is silver scales. It has a nice iridescent look to it. Very popular, very unique. Okay. And here is what it looks like when it's paired on this tank top and with the white. So you can see that that foil really takes on this gray trim that's around this tank top. All right, so being able to pair it that way is very lucrative. So we'll go ahead and bring up all the information on that tank top. All right, so as I mentioned, our wholesaler is Pant. Item number is 5219, and it's a women's racer back tank. So there up at the top left-hand corner, it has all of the materials that we use for anyone that is questioning that on our Facebook Live. That's fashion film, adhesive, and the silver Skell's foil. And the colors are listed there as well. All right, and our next look is one of my favorites because the garment is really the popular trend here. So this is from Boxer Craft. And what they have here is a really unique open mesh front part of the tank top. So I'm going to hold this up so that you guys can get a good look at it. All right, so this is the front part where it's nice and open. And then, of course, we have the back that is not exactly a crisscross, but is very similar to a racer back, the way it comes in nice and tight on the back. All right, and this is a polyester and rayon blend, I believe, but here we go. 100% polyester, no rayon. So anytime you're working with rayon, you want to make sure that there's no chance of scorching or anything. My design's a little bit larger than my platen here, so all I'm going to do is unlock my latch here and just spin it real quick so that it'll load right on there and be able to print my design. All right, and my garment is just wide enough that it's not stretching too much. That's something you want to be careful with when printing 100% polyester. Is it stretching too much? Is my design going to look stretched out after it's applied? So make sure it's nice and loose fit on there. And this is Cadcut Premium Plus. So same as that Panther text that we put on that raglan t-shirt. And it's going to apply as low as 280. But I'm going to put Glitter Flake on there. And now that Glitter Flake has a new application, it's going to apply as low as 300. So I'm going to apply these both at 300. Want to do a quick preheat before I apply my transfers. And of course, I need to adjust my pressure here. All right, so I'm going to apply my Premium Plus first, and I'm going to do a direct layer with the Glitter Flake. So after I apply this, all I'll have to do is place that Glitter Flake right over top, and it'll do a nice direct layer for me. That way I don't have to worry about registration since it's just going to be a little bit of text dropping over top of that. All right, and Premium Plus is a warm to cool pill. So just going to take it off of that hot platen for a second. If you're seeing a line here, it is not scorching. Our temperature is just low enough that this 100% polyester is not a scorch. This is just a little line from the edge of this platen. Okay. All right, so you can go ahead and peel that carrier back. Premium Plus has a nice high stretch to it. So it has a nice rebound to it as well. So although it stretches, it bounces right back and makes it perfect for 100% polyester or any workout gear. So not only would this be perfect for a cheerleading group, but also for an athletic department group. So anybody that is doing lifting or going to the gym or even yoga, this would be a perfect design for. Or garment for, not design. All right, so I'm going to apply Glitter Flake for its full application, 300 degrees for 10 seconds. And then it's a hot peel as well, so I can go ahead and peel that carrier back as soon as it's done applying. Now, if you guys have ever experienced glitter or a line from the Mylar carrier that the Glitter Flake is on in your matte finishes, which I have one right now. I'm not sure if you can see it from that angle. All you have to do is just put the cover sheet right back over top, tack it for a couple seconds, and it'll get rid of that line for you. All right, so no more line, looks nice and good. And this is one of our new glitter flake colors. So once again, I'm going to hold it up here for you, see if you can pick that up. This is our rainbow white, so it has iridescent flakes in it as opposed to our silver flakes that were in there before. So you really need to see this in person to be able to tell the difference. I know you guys can't really tell from the camera, but check out StahlsTV.com. We did a video on it that really picks it up very nicely if you really want to see what that looks like before purchasing, of course. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring up that slide and talk about where we sourced it from, what materials we used. So it says Cadcut fashion film on the slide. Like I said, it was Premium Plus. My mistake, I apologize for that, but that was Premium Plus on there. Perfect for 100% polyester. If you put fashion film on there, it applies at 320. There's a chance that it will scorch, so be careful. But I definitely recommend Premium Plus for this. So Vegas Gold and Rainbow White is the colors that we used on that. And that's the Active Racer Front Tank from Boxer Craft. All right, obviously the trend here is the garment, and of course it's a really cool design as well. So that split text or broken text that you're seeing in there is definitely a trend that we're seeing as far as decoration methods go. And this is going to be a popular look for cheer, dance, or even athletic wear. Okay, so it fits a bunch of different markets and would be perfect to offer to any schools this fall. All right. Our next look is, or our next trend that we're going to be going over is very unique, and actually not everybody is used to seeing something like this when it comes to fall or sportswear, but it's actually taking a like a school logo or school name and taking their colors and making, and instead of using their colors, just using something bright and vibrant and incorporating different clip art. So if we bring up the slide here, you can see what the trend is. It's called Boho Chic. If you've been to any of our trade shows recently and we've done our trends class, we go over the popularity of Boho Chic, and it's incorporating flowers, arrows, colorful patterns. So we'll be doing an application here shortly with one of the Stahls Cadcut Patterns. It's actually called Bohemian. Because this is such a popular trend, we knew that customers would be looking for that type of pattern. So we're going to be applying that here shortly, and just being able to put them on flowy, fashionable elements. So the garment that we put the screen print transfer on, so Transfer Express, one of our sister companies that does everything Plastisol ink transfers, is really good at incorporating this and making it easy for apparel decorators to access this. So they have a bunch of clip art and templates of the bohemian style look here. So that's actually where this transfer came from. It's a goof-proof transfer, and it applies to cotton poly blends. Now, the style of tank top is actually a trend as well. So it has a drop, like almost like a tail, in the back of the tank top, and it's a nice, has a nice hemline. It's kind of like a double hemline, and it's very flowy. So whenever you're thinking boho chic, what type of garments do I put that on? And it's not like your typical hoodie or like the jersey behind me. It's something that's very flowy and unique. So the garment that we're going to be decorating is a fringe tank. Both are sourced from Cavio. So if you're looking for a supplier that offers this trend in just blank garments, they are definitely the go-to. They have bright colors such as mint and coral and hot pink and the fluorescent blues. So that's definitely a good supplier for them, and I'll bring that slide up here after we do this application so that you guys can have an idea of which garments these are that we're going to be printing, or the one that I just showed you. Okay, as I mentioned, we are going to be doing patterns, but I want to hold up this tank top for you because it's a nice fringe tank that's very popular for this market or trend. So this is going to reach a variety of different markets. This one specifically is going to be for a cheerleading camp. So yes, cheerleaders typically have their colors worn whenever they're cheering at a football game or if they're representing at school. But whenever they do camps, they like to switch it up a little bit. So we're decorating for a cheer camp here with unique colors, something a little different, and pairing it with a pattern and some glitter. So you can never go wrong with glitter when you're decorating for cheerleaders. All right, so I'm going to do a quick preheat, and you can tell that my tank top is low cut, so I don't want to drop too low whenever I apply my design because I don't want it to be a belly button print. I want it to be a chest print. So, of course, I'm going to apply the largest part of my design first, which is my patterns. That is not masked, so I will wait for someone to go ahead and bring me mask, and we will do this design next, or once that mask comes in, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next design, but we will definitely get back to that. I apologize once again for that. Our next look is a split text effect that is very popular. So I talk about broken text and I talk about split text a lot, but I want to show you how you can really make split text very lucrative in your business. And that is by switching it up a little bit. Instead of doing matte finishes, doing really unique finishes on there. So I have glitter, flake, and foil, two very popular special effects that actually pair very nicely together. So I'm going to show you this application, and then after that we'll talk about the trend of the hoodie and where the hoodie was sourced. So you can see that this is a nice scuba neck hoodie, very popular, and it has a nice black trim around the pocket, the bottom of the hoodie, and the sleeves as well. So I'm going to apply my adhesive at first, and I want to load this on my platen so that I can get a nice flat surface. So I'm going to load it from the bottom up and do a quick preheat. Make sure all the bulk of that hoodie is out of the way so I have a nice flat area. Okay, and I have, once again, this adhesive. Just going to place that on there. Cover with my cover sheet, and again, this application, we want to do a light pressure for the adhesive and then apply that for 5 seconds at 300 degrees. Again, if you have a press that has a digital readout for its pressure, it's going to be anywhere between 1 and 3. So my carrier is a hot peel. I can go ahead and peel that back. And before I lay my foil down, what I want to do is apply my glitter flake. My glitter flake, of course, is going to just drop right in there and line right up so we have a nice split text effect. What I'm going to do is, so that I can just kind of kill two birds with one stone, is trim this up so that I can still apply my foil at the same time. Okay, so this is going to speed up my production process, so I'm just going to trim that up and lay that right in there. And then that way I can go back in with the foil and apply both at the same time. Now the reason I'm not applying the foil before my glitter flake is if you're working with a lot of foil, you've probably already noticed that if you apply it twice or press it twice instead of just one hit, it will actually give it a low luster effect. So some people actually prefer this. So it may be something that you would still want to do, but if you still want that mirror-like true foil finish, you only want to apply it once to the garment. And if you're doing split text effects, you want to be sure that your artwork is set up. And if you need to have a little cheat sheet and look back to your artwork to see how far your split should be, definitely recommended. All right, so I'm just going to line that up there. Then I'm going to grab my 2 foil sheets. Make sure it's covering all that adhesive so that we have a durable finish there. If the adhesive is exposed through the wash cycle, it can really gunk up your hoodie. If you don't know what gunk means, I'm from southwestern Pennsylvania, and it kind of just means that it gets really sticky under high heat, and it can really mess up that hoodie. So just make sure that your adhesive is always covered whenever you're doing that application. All right, and I need to make sure I have a nice firm pressure on there when I'm applying that foil, so I'm just gonna tack that again. You can apply the foil for anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds. Now my foil is a cold peel, so I can go ahead and remove my glitter flake, but I want to make sure that my foil is getting nice and cool so I can get a good and durable finish. All right, so again, anytime that I need to do a cool down before I peel away a transfer, all I do is put that on a cool surface and it'll speed up that process for me. All right, so this is one of our new foil colors. This is navy, perfect for decorating for schools or any retail looks as well. All right, so that is our finished look for split text. Of course, this is definitely going to be popular the more that you do special effect finishes and really making this design pop. So yes, the split text on there is very popular, but being able to pair popular materials together, such as the foil and glitter flake, or even maybe foil and a matte finish, or maybe you just want to do all matte, is definitely going to be a popular finish for you. So this is the Scuba Neck that I was telling you about, very popular in any retail stores. We'll go ahead and bring up the slide to see where that's sourced from. All right, so this one is from Pant Sportswear. All right, so the trend obviously is the Scuba Neck and the split text effect. The scuba style hood with laces for a very fashion forward hoodie style. So of course there are a lot of hoodies out there. They're very popular for the fall and popular to decorate. So looking for one with a unique look that you know your customers is going to love, this is going to be the perfect fit for that. It's really being innovative with those hoodie styles and showing that there's something more that you can do with it. All right, and split text for the color blocks effects. So text is popular, but being able to use 2 different colors really strives for that color block trend that is being seen a lot in retail. And you're going to hear me say that a million times, retail inspired looks, because that is what your customers are looking for. Anything you're seeing in retail, you should start offering in your business, because it's what your customers are seeing out there when they're not at your shop or when they're not ordering from you. Okay, so they're going to look for retail-inspired things. All right, so I have my patterns ready to go. All right, so anytime you're working with Cadcut Patterns, it's going to come on a roll that you're going to cut just like any other vinyl, but instead of cutting in a mirror image, you're going to cut in a positive image. And then, of course, you have to mask it, okay? So this wasn't masked prior to the class, so I have a little magic fairy that comes in and helps me out whenever I mess up. So I can go ahead and apply this now. And I'm just going to keep using this 11 by 15 because it's going to be a perfect fit for this tank. I load it on backwards, so all I need to do is twist that around. All right, and of course, I want to make sure that all of those seams or anything that's getting in the way is going to fall right off of that press. All right, so I can go ahead and place my patterns down. And before I apply my patterns, I want to make sure that I'm lined up correctly with the next piece of my design. So as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to drop this too low from the collar since it's a low cut collar. I want to be just up almost right next to it. Okay, so I know I have plenty of room for that to fit in, so I can go ahead and apply my Cadcut patterns. So the Cadcut patterns I'm using is Bohemian. One nice thing about the Cadcut patterns is whatever color that you see is all customizable. So right now you're seeing a baby pink and a mint in there, but if you wanted this to be true to the school colors, you could change it to Columbia Navy or Columbia Gold and make it match that. So there's a color palette on Stahls.com for you to be able to choose what colors you want to use in that pattern. All right, so I can go ahead and peel this back. This is a hot peel. And I'm using another new glitter flake color, and it is mint. So of course I wanted to, as I mentioned earlier, the bohemian style designs and just the trend in general uses bright, colorful graphics or patterns. So of course I wanted to go with mint to match that pattern, and then of course to keep my graphic bright. So I'm just going to go ahead and tack that for a couple seconds because my Mylar carrier is going directly over that pattern and I don't want there to be a harsh line in there. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that carrier back, and I'm going to just recover with my cover sheet and apply for its full application. So I'm going to let that go for 10 seconds. Looks like we have some more questions on Facebook. It's a good time to jump back in there. So, will the foil work on 100% polyester? Yes. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the foil applies at a low temperature at 300 degrees, so you don't have to worry about that polyester scorching or even turning yellow. Some 100% polyester garments, if you're sublimating even, since that temperature is too high, it'll start to get dingy and start to discolor into a yellowish looking color on there, which is not appealing to any customer or yourself. So yes, foil will work perfectly on 100% polyester. Is the foil not as durable as other HTV? Thank you, Julie, for bringing this up. Actually, the foil itself is very finicky. It starts to flake a little bit. So we recommend that it washes 25 times, so it can be washed 25 times. All the other heat transfer vinyl that Stahls offer is tested up to 50 washes. So 25 versus 50 is a dramatic difference, but I want to point out that the foil, it doesn't fall off of the garment. So it's not like it's going to start peeling off and looking terrible on there. What it's going to do is actually just get more of a low luster finish. As I mentioned earlier, foil has a tendency to do that when applied a second time with a heat press, or obviously the dryer is going to do that. So because it has the heat in it that's going to activate that to make it look more distressed. So if you want your to tell your customers not to dry it and do it as a hang dry or turn it inside out, that will help as well for a very long-lasting, durable foil finish. But we tested up to 25 washes. It starts to get distressed and just doesn't look brand new, but it doesn't start falling or peeling off. So that's the difference that I want you guys to keep in mind of whenever we talk about the durability of foil. Okay, and then the fashion film. Okay, we already answered that question. We're good to go. Do we have any questions on GoToWebinar?
Yes, Mark would like to know if you're making the split front designs in CADWorks.
Yes, I used CADWorks Live for all of these designs. So everything that was made for this class was done in CADWorks Live with the usage of like the back minus front feature in there, being to punch through letters and being able to split that text apart. Any other questions?
Yeah, we have one more that came through.
Okay.
In the split front words, could you have put the foil under the carrier instead of cutting the carrier apart?
I could have, but since that glitter flake, that's a really good idea actually, but that glitter flake carrier is a little too tacky, and I didn't want to chance that foil moving around whenever I was trying to place that glitter flake down. But of course, by all means, you're the apparel decorator at your business, you know what's best, and if that would have worked easily for you, then absolutely it would have worked. Just make sure that whenever you're placing the glitter flake over top of those sheets, that none of the glitter flake is laying over top of that foil, because it's not going to adhere. Okay? All right, so we can go ahead and move on. All right, so that was our bohemian look. We'll go ahead and bring up that hoodie so that you guys can see the source of that. So our wholesalers, Pant Sportswear again, they're very popular when it comes to where to source your fall fan wear, okay? So if you go to their website and check out a lot of their stuff, Pant is really good when it comes to manufacturing and selling apparel for this specific market. Okay, we're going to go back a little bit so that you guys can see something that we skipped over while we were going to that other application we did. I just want to point out, obviously, we're running a little over time. If you guys have something else going on, you need to head off of here. We are recording this video, and it will be on the Stahls TV website, or you can always come back to the Stahls All Things Heat Printing page and check it out there as well. Okay. All right, so this is another popular garment. This is the Game Time top. This is from Boxer Craft, and the trend is fan jersey. So as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be very popular for fall fan wear. Obviously, it's a fan jersey, and you guys are typically used to that poly mesh fabric for a fan jersey, which feels like a true jersey, but doesn't always feel the nicest to wear. So what Boxer Craft did is they innovated that 100% poly mesh fan jersey and made it more fashion forward and a more comfortable fit. So instead of using a poly mesh, they've taken a spandex mesh to create a more relaxed feel and look. So not only is that more fashion forward because it's more of a better fit, especially for ladies, but of course those striped screen printed sleeves are very popular because it gives it that true jersey look. It makes it sporty and athletic looking for the fall fan wear trends. Okay, so not only is that very popular for ladies, but also for children. So we have fan jerseys for children apparel, and I'll go ahead and bring those up. So if you're decorating a lot of children's apparel, you know that, all family members with little ones in their family, they love buying their little ones customizable or even personalized t-shirts and onesies. So this is going to really hit hard in that market. Okay, so they have little striped sleeves on there that give it kind of a faux fan jersey. It's CPSIA compliant, both the garment and also the material on here. So what I have on here is fashion film in Columbia and metallic gold. So this is going to be a perfect fit for that. And of course, not only do we have toddler sizes, but we also have onesie sizes. Okay, this was sourced from S&S Activewear, and the supplier is Rabbit Skins. Okay, so just keep in mind all of Rabbit Skin stuff that I'm aware of is CPSIA compliant, and the Stahls heat transfer vinyl is CPSIA compliant as well. That just means it's safe for children, so if they happen to be biting on their shirt and that heat transfer vinyl is in their mouth, it's not going to harm them at all. All right, so they made the game day jersey not only comfortable and more fashion forward looking for women, but also for children's apparel. So that's another popular trend to keep in mind when decorating this fall. Okay, and this is one that's been around for quite some time, but is still being seen as a very big trend. So the sleeveless fleece hoodie that you're seeing on the left-hand side there with the North Central Panthers with the white and blue, that's our fashion film, and that is white and navy. And then, of course, We have a short sleeve sweatshirt style on there. So I have the transfer listed on there so that you guys can see that I use goof proof and that supplier was from Transfer Express. We'll go ahead and bring up the short sleeve sweatshirt so you guys can see what that looks like. So it's pretty similar to a t-shirt, but it's fleece, it's warm. A lot of ladies like to pair this with even a long sleeve tee underneath, whether it's white to match the print or even a Columbia blue or gold. So this can be, both garments can be direct layered over top of another piece of apparel. So even the sleeveless fleece hoodie that you're seeing back here, that was also sourced from Pant Sportswear. Very popular, feels just like a hoodie, just doesn't have the sleeves on there. So even if men want to wear it as a cutoff, or if it's getting cold, Friday night football, Sunday night football, what have you, you can put a nice long sleeve t-shirt over that. So layers are very popular, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, of course the sleeveless hoodie is very retail inspired. I see it in Nike and Under Armour a lot, so of course if they're doing it, you should do it too, because customers love it. They want to buy it, okay? All right, so our next look, I call this Bling Squared because it's putting bling heat transfer vinyl on a bling shirt. So if you're familiar with J America, they're the supplier for these two looks. We'll be pressing the hoodie here shortly, but I want to point out that they offer a variety of glitter fabrics that are woven throughout their garments. Okay, so glitter knit fabrics, favorites for ladies fan wear. You just know it's gonna buy, okay? We have glitter flake and hologram on our long sleeve glitter tee, and I used our navy glitter flake and I paired gold hologram. Okay, the reason I used hologram is it's perfect for doing faux rhinestones. So inside this paw, I'm not sure if you can see that real well, but there are little dots in there that look like rhinestones. So I wanted to incorporate the design there with holograms so that you can get a faux rhinestone look. More economical, but still looks very vibrant and really pops off the garment. Okay, so Panther's soccer mom, perfect for any moms there supporting their daughter or son out on the field, okay? And then, of course, we have our glitter hoodie, which I'm very excited to apply this transfer to you or show you this garment in person and apply a transfer on it, because we're putting Flake on a glitter hoodie. So it's going to really stand out. Okay. So this is the glitter hoodie. I mean, you can see it sparkling from there. And we'll go ahead and switch out our platen here. Since I'm working with a large design, I'm going to place my 16 by 20 on there. And of course, I want to do a preheat, and while I'm doing that preheat, I want to test my pressure. So anytime you're loading in a new platen, you want to test your pressure to make sure that it's not too harsh on there, okay? So that's good to go. I'm at a medium pressure, which is perfect for glitter flake. So I can go ahead and lay down the largest part of my design. I keep saying that because you always want to start with the largest part of your design, because it's going to give you the best idea of where to lay down your transfer. It's going to give you your dimensions for where everything should be placed. So this is going to drop right in there. If I applied this one first, I could have applied it too high, and then this would have been too close to my hood. So always start with the largest part of your design so you know exactly where things should line up. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my cover sheet here and apply this. Now, you're probably concerned about that pocket being on there and the seams being too thick on there, but you don't have to worry because the design isn't close enough where it's going to cause uneven pressure. So we're up far enough from that where I know this is going to adhere nicely for me. Now, if I was working very closely to that pocket, I would have wanted to use a heat printing pillow. All right, so I can just go ahead and drop in my rainbow white glitter here. Now, as you may have already noticed, I didn't tack my first layer. If I wanted to speed up my production time, if I wasn't standing here talking to you, and I wanted to hurry up and get this done quickly, if I was maybe doing like 25 of these, I would want to tack that just to speed up production. But it's not going to shrink so much that my second layer of my graphic isn't going to line up because I have a nice gap outline in here. So everything lines up just fine. So that's what I mentioned earlier about having a nice gap outline is going to make it very easy for registration. Okay, so having glitter on glitter is a very popular look, and if you were to take this to a school, even if it's someone that you're not selling to yet, and showed it to the people there, they're going to be like, okay, I want you to print our apparel for this fall. Maybe they have a school shop where they sell their apparel. If you're doing a university or a local college, what have you, this would be a really good selling piece. This would be something that you would definitely want to show. Right, so as I mentioned earlier, we'll go ahead and bring that slide up again in case you didn't get a chance to write down those item numbers. The wholesaler is J America. You can find these right on their website. Of course, any glitzy HTV such as hologram or glitter flake is going to be awesome for pairing with this glitter knit fabric. Okay, our next trend is a vintage white hoodie, again sourced from Pant Sportswear. What's nice about this is it is covering two trends in one. So just like that heather textured raglan t-shirt that we printed earlier with the coral foil, this is going to cover two trends in one as well. So we have color block and we have vintage heather combo. Okay, so not only is that textured vintage heather pattern on the hoodie going to really make any design that you put on there stand out, but it's also going to be perfect for pairing a graphic with. So of course we went with navy letters and text on there because we wanted it to match the color blocked waistband and rib cuff and even the inside of that hoodie and the strings. So you can see that in person behind me. I actually switched up the colors on this last minute. I had Columbia blue on there, but I thought this metallic gold would stand out and really pop off the garment. So that's the difference whenever you're trying to choose which colors to use. Of course, I want to go with gold because it's going to really stand out. So really dive in deep whenever it comes to what colors should I use. Of course, you want to stick to the school colors, but putting gold on there really pops off the garment more than the Columbia would. Okay? All right, and our second to last look, so we're almost wrapping up here. I know I'm keeping you guys, but definitely worth it for this information for the fall. So our garment is a vintage, so it's not a vintage white hoodie. It's actually wholesaler is Sanmar for this one. The item number is actually ST90, and the garment is an electric textured heather look. Okay, so fabrics that have texture or the color that they're incorporating there. So we use black for this because it's really making the design really pop off that garment. Okay, so using important tools such as this textured heather fabric is really going to catch the eyes of the customer. And this actually is a Sanmar garment that we are very familiar with. We work a lot with it in-house, even at trade shows, and it typically is perfect for having the football team business. So not only can you pair this on a hood, but you can also put this on a t-shirt. So I'll go ahead and bring the t-shirt up now so that you guys can see the finished look on there. So we have a screen print on here again. So whenever you're printing for a school or even for a fundraiser, screen prints are going to be very lucrative for you because you're going to be printing multiples. So just if you're a screen printer in-house, you already know how it works. You have to consider how many colors are in the design, how much quantity. So if you are just a heat printer, Transfer Express makes you a screen printer just by being able to order transfers from them. So no cost of investment or no investment for the equipment, which is pretty expensive. If you're a screen printer already, you know that. And then so all you would have to do is order a transfer from them. They'll send it to you and you just heat press it. Okay. So being able to pair that on different styles of garments. So say you ordered 200 transfers, but you're doing a fundraiser for the boosters for the football team so that they can raise money by selling your apparel. So not only are you making money from their sales, but they're also making money from it too. So that's going to make, if you're doing fundraisers for any boosters, they're going to really see you as their go-to decorator because you're helping them make money, or for their thing, or for making. What am I trying to say here? So at fundraising, obviously they need to make money so that they can afford apparel or shoes or footballs or helmets. They need to have a source of benefits that are coming into them. So being able to have apparel that you create for them is going to make it easy for them going to any supporter that they have. So whether it's a teammate or not a teammate, but a schoolmate or any family member. So as I mentioned earlier, you have 3 to 4 people in the stands supporting one person on the field. So you know if one teammate or team member of the football team, say, if they're selling this piece, 3 to 4 more people are going to purchase, whether it's a hoodie, a t-shirt, or even offering accessories such as hats or sweatpants or shorts. Okay, so being able to package that all together to sell as fundraisers will be lucrative to you as well for this fall. Now, if you're considering doing screen printing, or not screen printing, but fundraising, you know that you're going to be giving those to or helping the booster out for raising money. So obviously you need to take into consideration what percentage are they going to get out of that. So what I have here for you is a calculator that we shared on the morning show. It was actually episode 46. So if you've been tuning into the morning show for a while, this is probably familiar to you. This is a profit calculator, so this kind of gives you an idea of the percentage of sales that you'll collect depending on how much money you make. So say the football team sold $8,000 or more, you'll collect 35% of those sales. Okay, so you're actually really becoming, it's going to be based off of that retail price. So typically, I mean, you're looking at the highest of 30% and the lowest of 20%. Even if you sell less, it'll drop a little bit more than that. So you can tell kind of from this calculator, it goes to 15% of sales. Now that's going to be based off of the group that you're fundraising for. So if you have a smaller group, such as a dance team, maybe they only have 12 members as opposed to a football team that has 60 members. So that's where that difference is really going to come into effect. So you're ultimately paying commission as low as 20% and as high as 30%. So if you sold a hoodie for $40 and they get 30% of that, you're typically going to be making $12 off of that, because you have to take all of the other stuff into consideration as well. All right, so that is fundraising and a little bit about that for you. And last but not least, we have a really fun look that I have piled up underneath here somewhere. I'll go ahead and bring up the slide for you so you guys can get an idea of this look. So this is a tone-on-tone look. So this really represents, obviously, the school, but all the different effects you can do with this. So we have a marbled style t-shirt, which kind of has that heather textured look in it. And it is sourced from Bella Canvas. So we have, and again, that says a different garment and wholesaler. So this is actually from Bella Canvas. It's very thin and lightweight. It has a tapered hemline, so it's long in the back and short in the front. And what we did to get this tone-on-tone effect is paired black foil and black flock. So the black foil is another new color that I'm very excited about it launching. And we put it on this charcoal marbled t-shirt to give it a really cool tone-on-tone effect. Okay, so this can be achieved with other heat transfer such as glitter flake, of course flock that we showed, any matte materials. So we have Cadcut matte, which is a completely clear but gives it kind of like a laser etched effect, still a tone-on-tone. Cadcut glaze is another popular one. Foil that we have printed on here, and really any heat transfer vinyl that is the same color as the shirt that you are printing on. So this is popular for spirit wear, fan wear, urban wear. So whoever you're printing for this fall, this is going to be a very popular look for. Why? Because it's seen in retail. Your customers are seeing things that they really like in retail, so they want you to be able to achieve those same looks. All right, before we wrap things up here, we'll go ahead and answer some questions. These videos are awesome. Thank you. Great video, very helpful. Thank you guys so much. Really glad that you enjoyed all the information here. Just want to let you know, coming in August, we're going to be doing some morning shows that dive a little bit more into what else you'll be seeing popularity-wise for the fall. So be sure to tune in then in August. Okay, do we have any questions on GoToWebinar? All right, if you guys are interested in the presentation, be sure to direct message us so we can get that sent over to you. Thanks so much for joining me today.